right here in the studio the chairman, Education Writers Association of Nigeria, Majid Alabi. Mr. Alabi, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you.
Great. So this is a ₦1 trillion education fund, and the target is 1.3 million students. Interesting at a time like this. How best, you are in the education, you interact a lot with stakeholders in the education sector. How best can this ₦1 trillion be used to make it as impactful as possible? Yeah,
thank you very much. I will first of all acknowledge and appreciate Aliko Dangote for finding this worthy. It's an investment and it's the best that anybody could do. I'm sure that they have a well thought out programs of how to invest this, but we must also acknowledge the fact that this is an indictment on the part of the government, because this is a failure. Somebody is just coming to our aid on behalf of the government. As far back as 2013, ASU, Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, requested ₦1 trillion, about 1.1 trillion investment in education over some years. But quite surprisingly, the government couldn't meet, I think about 100 billion was paid in 2013, and since then, there's not. So we have an individual who is now thinking that based on his own personal vision, he wants to invest that. So the best way to do it, and just like they have said they want to do, is to encourage TVET, and it's part of what he has itemized as part of the areas to focus. I think there are 4 critical areas there: teacher development, TVET, child education in honor of our daughters, and also the undergraduate investment in about 30,000 undergraduate per year. I think this is huge. But the most important thing is that we have to also look at the hem and he, the people who are behind this initiative. And there is an area that I've also said that Dangote is focusing on STEM. Yes, STEM is good, but there is an aspect that is left out, and that is art. The world is looking at STEM these days, not necessarily only STEM, because behind every science, there is an art. God forbid, bad things. The challenge that we have had over time is not the application of the sciences alone, but also about what should go into that science. Every science has history. Where is the history? Somebody must be able to let us understand that it is not only when you develop science alone that you are going to have it better in the society. So we thank Dangote for deeming it fit to do this, and we call on other investors in the society, in the economy, to look at it, because this is the only legacy that can be bequeathed to the next generation. So
I know you talked about the government not doing enough, but we know that you have things like NEL Fund, UBEC, and Tech Fund, a lot of reforms going on in the education sector. Where can we place this ₦1 trillion education fund to make it work hand in hand?
Thank you very much. One thing that is very clear is this: beyond funding education, it's also about policy. If the government, for now, we have a lot of flip-flops within the sector, policy flip-flops on the part of the education ministry. If you have monitored news over time, you will hear about the syllabus crisis, how students are unable to even identify which subject they are going to register for. We have the problem of language policy, of somebody just saying, no, just burn it. From a government, things that people have invested their time, their energy, their expertise on, you just say burn it overnight, rejecting our local language. By that, we have seen something that NC are now going to be awarding degrees in the institution. We have the challenge of even who regulates which courses. We knew what happened with University of Calabar. The kind of the challenge with their medical students, how regulations became a problem, and here and there NUCs somehow relegated, MDC. So there is a need beyond just throwing money at our problems. There is a need to bring in critical stakeholders who actually understand the sector. But more importantly, we have been talking about funding. Yesterday, I knew what the comment of most of the critical stakeholders are to me personally, including the president of ASU, say, oh, I'm all smiles. You know, this is a reflection of what they feel can help the system. Imagine an individual being ready from his own personal sweat to support institutions, to support individuals. Yes, and Dangote is actually not doing it for us. Yes, we can say Dangote is also doing it for himself, because he knows that once you don't invest in minds of the people, you are creating bigger problems. All their investment is going to be at risk. And that is why the government itself must show interest that only trained minds, once you are able to sit down properly to analyze what the problem is, no problem in the society cannot be addressed by quality and affordable education. And that's what Dangote is trying to do.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mojeed Alabi. And we do hope, I mean, with this motivation and push from Dangote, we'll see more billionaires, you know, coming up with some funds, education funds.
Yeah,
and as you said, it's not just about throwing money at the problem. You also need the expertise and coordination, you know, amidst it all. Thank you so much, Mr. Alabi, for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Chairman, Education Writers Association of Nigeria.
Thank you so much.